receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Throwing is Hurts. Quick slant to Brown. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hurts. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, 42 yards. And the Eagles are an extra point away from drawing level. The fly route works for the TD ground.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He's at the 40. 20. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Lions.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now the touchback's coming back to the 25 instead of the 20. When guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Another run with Sanders. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. They'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 39. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground with Sanders. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 30, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't he?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. Tackle made by Kaiser White. You know he can fly to the ball, and he showed it there.
Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
Goff's throw taken in by Hockenson here. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Gone. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. The keeper there good for about 9, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and inches.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They don't want to draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are out in the field and they're only thinking one thing: get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. The kick by Elliott is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25. As he's dropped at the 23. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 22 yards there, a first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Strong. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Strong. He's airing it out for Williams. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. This is taken at the 15. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. From the 35 on 2nd down. Hurts. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up a throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Aaron Sipas now. Here's Williams to return. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession in the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Strong. He's airing it out for Williams. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams. His first NFL reception goes for 6. Johnson for the extra point try. It's good, and it's 21-10. Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is caught by Watkins. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Seems like a perpetual search for productive receivers for Philadelphia, but they think that Quez Watkins might be a keeper after his 2021. Earned a starting spot for much of the season and put up over 600 yards while averaging 15 per catch. They're giving the former 6th-rounder another opportunity and seeing if those numbers will keep growing.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. On 1st down, Hurts. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Back to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing the throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him in with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the 1st half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever.
This is intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. He had the good earlier throwing his first career touchdown pass. Now the bad, his first career interception.
So you had to have some balance at some point, right? Didn't that what we all seek in our lives? But here's the thing. He had the success, you mentioned it, through the touchdown pass. Sometimes you press it a little bit more, try a few other things, but that's how you learn. They'll throw a few more interceptions along the way, but I bet he'll balance that with a heck of a lot more touchdown passes, too. Dallas Goedert really flourished as Philadelphia's unquestioned #1 tight end. He's a big-time field stretcher for first-time starter Jalen Hurts and averaged the 2nd most yards per reception among tight ends in the league. Won't hurt his average there with that 1st down pickup.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts, and he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
He's airing it out for Williams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he returns this to the 22. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Strong. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now a give right side Swift. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw on 3rd down. Strong. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. That is a tough way to start the 3rd quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
19.
Back to throw here. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Hurts finding Goddard there. 1st down, Philadelphia.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Hurts. Over the middle, complete. It's Watkins. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now Hurts on the option right. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. So a very strong first drive in the 2nd half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a 3rd quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But boy, they executed awfully well, moving the ball down the field.
Hurts will throw. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. Now after the touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this third quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
19-5.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here we go, check.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Hurts sets up to throw it. This is caught. It's Brown. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 23. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 20-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready.
2nd and 7 from the 20. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
This drive, they're 2 for 2 on third down conversions, but they need 7 yards here.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers.
Throwing is Hurts. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lions are right back in this football game. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
To throw from his end zone. Strong. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave. Embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
The Lions on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Taken right around the 44. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Charles Harris. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. Thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
36 yards on the punt with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So a nice throw there. And, CD, I'd have to think you've been impressed with what you've seen thus far here in his debut.
Now, you know me well. I have been impressed because what I've seen is him starting to understand how to play the game in a short amount of time. The dazzling plays, they'll come with experience. But right now, we're seeing him handle the game, make all the smart plays, and the right reads.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Strong. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And they get him down, but not before he takes it. Yard line.
That's good for the Lions. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Strong. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
19 right.
They'll set up a throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. They wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. On the sneak, it's Hurts, but he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Let's go.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake in the football, get it out. We got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said that he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Eagles will add to their fourth-quarter lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. There's still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
That's good for the Lions.
Back to throw. Strong. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. To throw on 2nd down. Strong. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's back to throw. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something, double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll go again with Sanders. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
On third down, they turn. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. The bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down.
First and 10, 36-yard line.
They'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get him the completion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Oh, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. And the Eagles have just about sewn up this football game. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like 1 time a week. The best teams I know, they practice starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record, but everyone's got to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Eagles, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will be back home next week for a date with the Washington Commanders.
got some true stories to tell.